The Stoic art of absence, making her miss you by mastering yourself. Have you ever found yourself obsessing over how to make a woman miss you? Perhaps you're trying to reignite a spark with an ex, reconnect with someone who seems distant, or elevate a casual dating situation to something more meaningful. The common advice often focuses on playing games or employing manipulative tactics. However, there's a more profound and authentic approach to achieving this goal: shifting the focus inward. The secret to making her miss you isn't solely about what you do to her, but about who you become. This involves cultivating self-control, developing an intriguing persona, and embracing a philosophy that values inner strength and detachment. In this comprehensive exploration, we'll delve into the Stoic principles that unlock this power, revealing how to create an irresistible allure that stems from personal growth and unwavering self-worth. By understanding and implementing these strategies, you'll not only learn how to make her miss you, but also grasp the underlying reasons for their effectiveness, leading to more fulfilling and authentic relationships. 1. Abandoning the backup plan, self-respect above all. One of the most detrimental mistakes men make is positioning themselves as a fallback option. This often manifests as constant, casual texting, a misguided attempt to remain in her thoughts with messages like, "Hey, how's it going?" The harsh reality is that this approach rarely works. Instead of fostering desire, it relegates you to the Plan B zone. When she perceives you as someone she can turn to when other options fall through, she's unlikely to develop genuine respect or attraction. You become the convenient guy, the one she seeks out when she's bored or needs a distraction. Nobody aspires to be in that position. This behavior undermines your own value and signals a lack of self-respect, qualities that are inherently unattractive. To avoid this pitfall, it's crucial to cultivate a sense of self-worth that transcends external validation. Focus on your own passions, goals, and personal growth, making yourself unavailable for constant, low-effort interactions. By prioritizing your own life, you communicate that your time and attention are valuable, instantly elevating your perceived status. Expanding on the concept of self-respect. Self-respect is not about arrogance or superiority. It's about recognizing your inherent worth as an individual. It's the unwavering belief that you deserve to be treated with respect and consideration, and it's the foundation upon which healthy relationships are built. When you possess self-respect, you're less likely to tolerate being treated as an afterthought or settling for less than you deserve. You understand that you have something valuable to offer, and you're not afraid to assert your needs and boundaries. In the context of dating, self-respect translates into not chasing after women who are clearly uninterested, not sacrificing your own happiness to please someone else, and not compromising your values for the sake of a relationship. It means being willing to walk away from situations that are not serving your best interests, knowing that you deserve someone who genuinely appreciates and values you. This kind of confidence is inherently attractive because it signals that you're not desperate for attention or validation. You are secure in yourself, and you are looking for a partner who complements your life, not completes it. The allure of the unavailable. Human psychology is often drawn to what is scarce or difficult to obtain. This principle applies directly to dating. When you make yourself constantly available, you diminish your perceived value. Conversely, when you're engaged in activities and pursuits that are meaningful to you, you create a sense of mystery and intrigue. She begins to wonder what you're doing, who you're spending your time with, and what makes you so fulfilled. This curiosity can be a powerful catalyst for attraction. It's not about playing games or intentionally trying to create jealousy. It's about genuinely living a full and vibrant life. The key is to find activities that you are passionate about and invest your time and energy into them. This could be anything from learning a new skill to volunteering for a cause you care about to pursuing a creative hobby. The more engaged you are in your own life, the more interesting and attractive you'll become to others. Stoic implications, inner strength, and self-sufficiency. The Stoic philosophy emphasizes the importance of inner strength and self-sufficiency. Stoics believe that true happiness and fulfillment come from within, not from external sources. This aligns perfectly with the idea of not relying on a woman for validation or allowing her to dictate your self-worth. By cultivating inner strength and focusing on your own personal growth, you become less dependent on external approval and more resilient to the ups and downs of relationships. The Stoic practice of focusing on what you can control and accepting what you cannot is also highly relevant. You cannot control how a woman feels about you, but you can control your own actions, thoughts, and emotions. By focusing on developing your character, pursuing your goals, and living a virtuous life, you become the best version of yourself, regardless of whether or not you are in a relationship. This self-sufficiency is incredibly attractive because it signals that you are not needy or dependent, but rather a strong and independent individual who is capable of creating your own happiness. 2. Beyond obvious attempts, the subtlety of attraction. Another common mistake is attempting to rekindle old feelings through overt displays of nostalgia. Reminiscing about that amazing time we had might seem like a good idea, but it often comes across as manipulative and forced. It's akin to watching a cheesy movie where the director is desperately trying to evoke emotion. The attempt feels contrived and often backfires. Genuine connection cannot be manufactured. It arises organically from shared experiences and authentic interactions. A more effective approach is to focus on creating new, positive experiences and memories. Instead of dwelling on the past, concentrate on building a future together that is even more exciting and fulfilling. This involves being present in the moment, engaging in meaningful conversations, and participating in activities that you both enjoy. The pitfalls of sentimentality. While nostalgia can be a pleasant emotion in moderation, it can also be a trap. Dwelling too much on the past can prevent you from fully embracing the present and creating new memories. Furthermore, relying on nostalgic appeals to rekindle a relationship can suggest that you are unable to move forward and create something new and better. It can also create a sense of pressure and expectation, which can be counterproductive. Instead of trying to recreate the past, focus on building a new connection based on your current selves and your shared aspirations for the future. This involves being honest about your feelings, communicating openly, and being willing to compromise and adapt. The power of new experiences. Shared experiences are the building blocks of strong relationships. They create lasting memories, foster a sense of connection, and provide opportunities for growth and discovery. When you embark on new adventures together, you create a shared history that is unique to your relationship. This can be anything from trying a new restaurant to traveling to a foreign country to taking a class together. The key is to choose activities that you both find enjoyable and that allow you to learn and grow together. These experiences will not only strengthen your bond, but also create a sense of excitement and anticipation for the future. The art of authentic connection. Authenticity is the foundation of any successful relationship. It means being true to yourself, expressing your feelings honestly, and being willing to be vulnerable. When you are authentic, you create a safe and trusting environment where your partner can feel comfortable being themselves. This allows for deeper connection and intimacy. Authenticity also means being honest about your flaws and imperfections. Nobody is perfect, and trying to present a false image of yourself will ultimately backfire. Instead, embrace your imperfections and be open about your struggles. This will not only make you more relatable, but also create a sense of genuine connection with your partner. Stoic implications. Embracing the present moment. Stoicism teaches us to focus on the present moment and to let go of our attachments to the past and the future. This aligns perfectly with the idea of not dwelling on past memories, but rather focusing on creating new and meaningful experiences. The Stoic practice of mindfulness can also be helpful in fostering authentic connection. By being fully present in the moment, you can better understand your own feelings and emotions and communicate them more effectively to your partner. This can lead to deeper intimacy and understanding. Furthermore, Stoicism encourages us to accept the imperfections of ourselves and others. By embracing our flaws and imperfections, we can create a more compassionate and forgiving environment in our relationships. 3. The art of detachment. Value yourself first. The core principle of Stoicism, the art of detachment, holds the key to unlocking irresistible allure. This isn't about indifference or playing games. It's about prioritizing your own well-being and valuing yourself above the outcome of any particular relationship. When you stop clinging to expectations and begin to cultivate inner peace and self-worth, you exude a grounded confidence that is undeniably attractive. This approach isn't about ignoring her or feigning disinterest. It's about cultivating a mindset that is so secure and self-assured that she can't help but wonder what makes you so different. Understanding detachment. Detachment is often misunderstood as being cold or uncaring. However, in the context of Stoicism, it refers to the ability to separate your happiness and self-worth from external factors, including the actions and opinions of others. It's about recognizing that you cannot control everything in your life and that your well-being should not depend on things that are outside of your control. In the context of dating, detachment means not becoming overly invested in a relationship before it has had time to develop, not allowing your emotions to be dictated by her behavior, and not sacrificing your own happiness for the sake of the relationship. It's about maintaining a sense of perspective and remembering that you are a complete and whole person, regardless of whether or not you are in a relationship. The benefits of detachment. Detachment offers numerous benefits in the realm of relationships. It allows you to approach dating with a more rational and objective mindset, preventing you from making impulsive decisions based on emotions. It also helps you to avoid becoming overly attached or dependent on your partner, which can lead to insecurity and anxiety. By maintaining a sense of detachment, you can create a healthier and more balanced relationship, where both partners feel free to be themselves and pursue their own interests. Furthermore, detachment can make you more attractive to others. When you're not desperate for a relationship, you exude a sense of confidence and self-assurance that is highly appealing. Cultivating self-worth. Self-worth is the foundation of detachment. When you believe in your own value and potential, you're less likely to seek validation from others. Cultivating self-worth involves identifying your strengths and accomplishments, focusing on your personal growth, and practicing self-compassion. It's about recognizing that you are deserving of love and respect, regardless of your relationship status. When you have a strong sense of self-worth, you are less likely to tolerate mistreatment or settle for less than you deserve. You are also more likely to attract partners who genuinely appreciate and value you. Stoic implications. Internal locus of control. Stoicism emphasizes the importance of developing an internal locus of control, which means believing that you have the power to influence your own life and circumstances. This aligns perfectly with the idea of detachment and self-worth. By focusing on what you can control, your thoughts, actions, and emotions, you become less dependent on external factors for your happiness and fulfillment. The Stoic practice of virtue ethics also plays a crucial role. By striving to live a virtuous life, you cultivate inner strength and self-respect, which are the cornerstones of detachment. Furthermore, Stoicism teaches us to accept the things we cannot control with equanimity. This allows us to approach relationships with a more balanced and rational perspective, preventing us from becoming overwhelmed by emotions or expectations. 4. Setting the tone early, a magnetic first impression. The art of making her miss you begins from the very first interaction. It's not a tactic to employ when she starts pulling away. It's about establishing a connection that is both strong and effortlessly detached from the outset. This involves projecting an aura of confidence and independence, demonstrating that you are a man of value and purpose. By setting this tone early, you create a lasting impression that lingers in her mind, even when you're not around. The importance of first impressions. First impressions are incredibly powerful. They set the stage for all future interactions and can have a lasting impact on how someone perceives you. In the context of dating, a strong first impression can make you stand out from the crowd and pique her interest. It's about conveying confidence, intelligence, and a sense of humor. It's also about demonstrating that you're genuinely interested in getting to know her as a person, rather than just trying to impress her. Projecting confidence and independence. Confidence and independence are two of the most attractive qualities a man can possess. Confidence is about believing in yourself and your abilities, while independence is about being self-sufficient and not needing someone else to complete you. Projecting these qualities involves maintaining good eye contact, speaking clearly and articulately, and standing tall with good posture. It also involves being assertive and expressing your opinions without being afraid to disagree. Furthermore, it's important to demonstrate that you have a life outside of dating. This means having hobbies, interests, and friendships that you're passionate about. Demonstrating value and purpose. A man of value and purpose is someone who has clear goals and aspirations and is actively working toward achieving them. This could be anything from pursuing a successful career to volunteering for a cause you care about to developing a creative talent. Demonstrating that you have value and purpose involves talking about your goals and aspirations with enthusiasm and showing that you are committed to achieving them. It also involves being knowledgeable and well-informed, and being able to engage in intelligent conversations about a variety of topics. Stoic implications, virtue, and purposeful living. Stoicism emphasizes the importance of living a virtuous life and pursuing a meaningful purpose. By aligning your actions with your values and striving to make a positive contribution to the world, you cultivate a sense of inner peace and fulfillment that is inherently attractive. The Stoic practice of self-reflection can also be helpful in identifying your values and goals. By taking the time to examine your beliefs and motivations, you can gain a clearer understanding of what is important to you and how you want to live your life. Furthermore, Stoicism teaches us to be resilient in the face of adversity. By developing the ability to overcome challenges and persevere through difficult times, you demonstrate strength of character and a commitment to your goals. 5. Emotional triggers, planting seeds of memory. A subtle yet powerful technique for making her miss you involves creating emotional triggers, small, memorable moments that subtly remind her of you when she least expects it. Think of it as planting a memory seed that blossoms later on, evoking positive feelings and associations connected to you. These triggers are not grand gestures, but rather carefully chosen details that resonate with her senses and emotions. The power of sensory memory. Our senses are deeply intertwined with our memories. Certain smells, sounds, sights, tastes, and textures can instantly transport us back to specific moments in time, evoking vivid emotions and sensations. In a context of dating, you can leverage this power by creating sensory triggers that are uniquely associated with you. This could be anything from wearing a signature cologne to playing a particular song to taking her to a specific place. The key is to choose sensory experiences that are positive and memorable, and that create a strong association with you in her mind. Scent memory, a powerful tool. The sense of smell is particularly potent when it comes to memory recall. A carefully chosen cologne can become a powerful olfactory trigger, instantly reminding her of you whenever she encounters that scent. However, it's crucial to select a fragrance that is both unique and familiar. An overly rare scent might never be encountered again, while an overly common scent will lack the specific association you desire. The ideal cologne is one that is distinctive enough to be memorable, but not so obscure that she never smells it on anyone else. Creating inside jokes and shared references. Inside jokes and shared references create a sense of intimacy and exclusivity. They are like private treasures that only the two of you understand, fostering a feeling of connection and belonging. These can be funny jokes, random nicknames, or silly references to shared experiences. When something reminds her of one of these moments, it will trigger a wave of positive emotions and memories, instantly reminding her of you and the way you made her feel. Subtle intentionality, the key to effectiveness. The effectiveness of emotional triggers lies in their subtlety and intentionality. They should not be overly contrived or obvious, but rather organic and genuine. The goal is to create a lasting impression without appearing to be trying too hard. This involves paying attention to her preferences, remembering details about her life, and finding creative ways to incorporate those details into your interactions. By being thoughtful and attentive, you can create emotional triggers that are both meaningful and memorable. Stoic implications. Meaningful actions over grand gestures. The Stoic philosophy emphasizes the importance of meaningful actions over grand gestures. Stoics believe that true virtue lies in the small, everyday choices we make, rather than in seeking external recognition or approval. This aligns perfectly with the idea of creating subtle emotional triggers. By focusing on small, intentional acts of kindness and thoughtfulness, you can create a lasting impact on our life without resorting to manipulative tactics or empty displays of affection. Furthermore, Stoicism teaches us to be present in the moment and to appreciate the small things in life. By being fully present with her and paying attention to her needs and desires, you can create moments of genuine connection that will linger long after you've parted ways. 6. Timing is everything. Striking while the iron is hot. The implementation of emotional triggers is most effective during the early stages of a connection, while you're still actively involved in her life. If she has already withdrawn significantly, it may be too late to reverse the momentum. However, even if the relationship is currently casual, you still have an opportunity to create these lasting impressions. Even something as simple as changing your cologne can spark a reaction, provided it's done with intention and awareness. Recognizing the window of opportunity. There is a critical window of opportunity for establishing emotional triggers. This is typically during the initial stages of a relationship when you are both actively engaged in getting to know each other. During this time, her mind is more receptive to new experiences and associations. As the relationship progresses, it becomes more difficult to create these triggers, as her mind has already formed established patterns and associations. Maintaining consistent effort. The creation of emotional triggers is not a one-time event, but rather an ongoing process. It requires consistent effort and attention to detail. You should continually be looking for opportunities to create memorable moments and positive associations. This could involve planning special dates, surprising her with thoughtful gifts, or simply being present and attentive during your interactions. By maintaining consistent effort, you can ensure that these emotional triggers remain effective over time. Adapting to changing circumstances. As the relationship evolves, it's important to adapt your approach to creating emotional triggers. What worked in the early stages of the relationship may not be as effective later on. You should be constantly reassessing your strategy and looking for new and creative ways to connect with her on an emotional level. This could involve trying new activities, exploring new interests together, or simply deepening your communication and understanding. Stoic implications. Mastering what you can control. Stoicism teaches us to focus on what we can control and to accept what we cannot. In the context of dating, we cannot control her feelings or her behavior, but we can control our own actions and attitudes. By focusing on creating positive experiences and building a strong connection, we can increase the likelihood that she will develop feelings for us. However, we must also be prepared to accept the possibility that she may not reciprocate our feelings, and to move on with grace and dignity if that is the case. The Stoic practice of acceptance can be particularly helpful in this regard. By accepting the things we cannot control, we can reduce our stress and anxiety and focus our energy on what we can control, our own personal growth and development. 7. Knowing when to walk away. The power of absence. Knowing when to walk away is as important as knowing what to say or do. Many men believe that prolonging interactions will strengthen the connection, but the opposite is often true. The real magic happens when you leave her wanting more. It's about creating a sense of anticipation and intrigue, leaving her with a lingering desire for your company. The misconception of quantity over quality. Many people mistakenly believe that spending more time with someone will automatically lead to a stronger connection. However, quality is far more important than quantity. Spending endless hours together without engaging in meaningful conversations or creating memorable experiences can actually weaken a bond. It can lead to boredom, resentment, and a sense of being taken for granted. The importance of boundaries. Setting boundaries is essential for maintaining a healthy relationship. Boundaries define what you are and are not willing to tolerate in a relationship. They protect your time, energy, and emotional well-being. Setting boundaries also demonstrates self-respect and communicates that you value yourself. When you have strong boundaries, you are less likely to be taken advantage of or treated poorly. Leaving on a high note. The key to leaving her wanting more is to end the interaction while the energy is still positive and exciting. Don't drag it out until the conversation becomes stale or awkward. Be the one who decides when the interaction ends, even if she initiated it. Wrap it up while the energy is still high, leaving her with a sense of anticipation for the next time you see each other. Stoic implications. Valuing your time and energy. Stoicism teaches us to value our time and energy and to use them wisely. This aligns perfectly with the idea of knowing when to walk away. By not wasting our time on unproductive or unsatisfying interactions, we can conserve our energy and focus on activities that are more meaningful and fulfilling. The Stoic practice of mindfulness can also be helpful in recognizing when an interaction is no longer serving us. By being present in the moment, we can better discern when it's time to move on and pursue something more valuable. Furthermore, Stoicism encourages us to be self-reliant and not to depend on others for our happiness or fulfillment. By being able to walk away from a relationship without feeling desperate or needy, we demonstrate strength of character and self-sufficiency. 8. The digital detox. Avoiding the social media stalk. In the age of social media, stalking someone's online presence is a surefire way to sabotage your chances with her and damage your own emotional well-being. Obsessively monitoring her every move online will only fuel anxiety and create unnecessary drama in your head. It's a recipe for emotional meltdown. The mental minefield of social media. Social media can be a mental minefield filled with potential triggers for insecurity and anxiety. Seeing her smiling in a picture with another man can instantly spark feelings of jealousy and doubt. You might start to question your worth, your attractiveness, and your chances with her. This can lead to a downward spiral of negative thoughts and emotions, ultimately undermining your confidence and self-esteem. The illusion of control. Stalking her social media might give you the illusion of being in control, of knowing what she's up to and who she's spending time with. However, this control is illusory. You are only seeing a curated version of her life, a carefully constructed facade that may not reflect reality. Furthermore, the more you know about her online, the more opportunities there are for you to misinterpret her actions and create false narratives in your head. The inevitable slip-up. Even if you try to play it cool, your knowledge of her social media activity will inevitably slip into your conversations. You might casually mention something that she posted online, thinking that you are being smooth and attentive. However, she will likely recognize that you have been stalking her, which could be a major turnoff. It can make you appear needy, insecure, and even creepy. The message of availability. Liking all of her posts and constantly commenting on her updates sends a clear message. I'm always here, waiting for your attention. This makes you appear readily available and diminishes your value in her eyes. She will see you as a backup option, someone she can always count on to be there, but not someone she truly desires. Stoic implications. Focusing on what you can control. Stoicism teaches us to focus on what we can control and to let go of what we cannot. In the context of social media, we cannot control what she posts or who she interacts with online. However, we can control our own behavior and our own reactions. By detaching from her social media activity, we can protect our emotional well-being and focus our energy on more productive and fulfilling pursuits. The Stoic practice of self-discipline can also be helpful in resisting the urge to stalk her online. By consciously choosing to avoid her social media profiles, we can break the cycle of obsession and regain control over our thoughts and emotions. Furthermore, Stoicism encourages us to live in accordance with our values. If we value our self-respect and our emotional well-being, We will avoid behaviors that undermine those values, such as stalking or social media. 9. The art of subtle mystery, leaving her curious. Instead of overtly trying to make her jealous, cultivate an air of subtle mystery. Avoid oversharing details about your life on social media. Instead, post just enough to pique her curiosity, leaving her wondering what you're up to and who you're spending time with. The downfalls of oversharing. In today's world, it's easy to fall into the trap of oversharing every aspect of your life on social media. From posting endless selfies to chronicling your every meal, it can feel like you need to constantly broadcast your activities to the world. However, oversharing can actually be detrimental to your relationships. It can make you appear needy, attention-seeking, and lacking in substance. It can also diminish your value in the eyes of others, as they feel like they already know everything about you. Human psychology is naturally drawn to the unknown. We are curious creatures who are driven to explore and discover new things. In the context of dating, a little mystery can be incredibly appealing. It creates a sense of intrigue and excitement, making her want to learn more about you. When you are not an open book, she will be more likely to invest time and energy into getting to know you. Instead of posting flashy photos or bragging about your accomplishments, use social media strategically to create a sense of mystery. Post subtle shots that hint at your activities without revealing too much detail. For example, you could post a picture of 2 glasses on a table, leaving her wondering who you were with. Or you could post a photo of a concert with no one else in the frame, making her curious about who you were there with. When she asks about your weekend, avoid giving her a detailed account of your activities. Instead, keep your responses vague and enigmatic. For example, you could say, "Oh, I had a great time, but I don't want to spoil the surprise." This will leave her wondering what you were up to and who you were with, fueling her curiosity and making her want to know more. Stoicism teaches us to find contentment within ourselves and not to rely on external validation for our happiness. This aligns perfectly with the idea of cultivating an air of subtle mystery. By not feeling the need to constantly broadcast our activities to the world, we demonstrate that we are self-sufficient and confident in ourselves. The Stoic practice of self-control can also be helpful in resisting the urge to overshare. By consciously choosing to keep certain aspects of our lives private, we can protect our emotional well-being and maintain a sense of inner peace. Furthermore, Stoicism encourages us to focus on what is truly important in life, such as virtue, wisdom, and justice. By pursuing these values, we can live a more meaningful and fulfilling life, regardless of whether or not we receive external recognition or approval. 10. The power of competition, sparking desire through scarcity. A woman is more likely to miss you when she perceives that she might be losing your attention to something or someone else. If she believes she is your unwavering priority, she may take you for granted. Introduce new elements into your life that demand your time and energy, making you less readily available. Human psychology is wired to value things that are scarce or difficult to obtain. This principle applies directly to dating. When you are constantly available and eager to please, you diminish your value in her eyes. She knows that she can always have you, which reduces her desire for you. Conversely, when you are less available and your attention is divided among multiple pursuits, you create a sense of scarcity. She begins to wonder if she is losing you, which can reignite her interest and desire. The key to creating a sense of competition is to introduce new interests and activities into your life that genuinely excite you. This could be anything from joining a sports team to learning a new language to volunteering for a cause you care about. The more passionate you are about these activities, the more attractive you will become to her. She will see that you are a well-rounded individual with a full and vibrant life, which will make her want to be a part of it. It's important to note that the competition should be genuine, not contrived. Don't pretend to be busy or interested in activities that you don't actually enjoy. This will come across as insincere and ultimately backfire. The goal is to create a life that you genuinely love, which will naturally make you more attractive to her. While dating other women can create a sense of competition, it's important to proceed with caution and respect. Don't flaunt your other dates or talk about them in detail. This can come across as insensitive and disrespectful. The goal is not to make her jealous, but rather to demonstrate that you are a desirable and sought-after individual. The best approach is to simply be honest and transparent about your dating life, without being overly boastful or explicit. Stoicism encourages us to focus on self-improvement and to pursue a meaningful purpose in life. This aligns perfectly with the idea of introducing new interests and activities into our lives. By constantly striving to become better versions of ourselves, we cultivate inner strength and self-confidence, which are inherently attractive. The Stoic practice of virtue ethics also plays a crucial role. By striving to live a virtuous life, we become more compassionate, empathetic, and trustworthy, which are all qualities that are highly valued in relationships. Furthermore, Stoicism teaches us to be resilient in the face of adversity. By developing the ability to overcome challenges and persevere through difficult times, we demonstrate strength of character and a commitment to our goals. 11. The transformation, becoming a different man. Completely rewrite the rules by becoming a different man than the one she expects. Women often anticipate certain behaviors, especially if they've previously held the upper hand. Break those expectations by undergoing a personal transformation. Women often have preconceived notions about men based on their past experiences and societal stereotypes. These expectations can be limiting and can prevent them from seeing you as a unique and individual person. By challenging these expectations, you can surprise her and capture her attention. This could involve breaking gender stereotypes, defying societal norms, or simply being unpredictable and spontaneous. One of the most common ways to fall into the friend zone is to be too predictable. If you always reply to her texts immediately, always agree with everything she says, and always make yourself available to her, she will start to take you for granted. Break these predictable patterns by taking some time to respond to her messages, expressing your own opinions, and making yourself less available. This will show her that you are not desperate for her attention and that you have a life outside of her. Your appearance and style can have a significant impact on how you're perceived by others. If you have always dressed casually, try experimenting with a more sophisticated and polished look. If you have always been clean-shaven, try growing a beard. These changes may seem small, but they can have a big impact on how she sees you. They will send a message that you're not the same guy she thought she knew and that you're constantly evolving and growing. One of the best ways to become a different man is to cultivate new interests and hobbies. This will not only make you more interesting and engaging, but it will also help you to develop new skills and perspectives. Try taking a class, joining a club, or volunteering for a cause you care about. This will expand your horizons and make you a more well-rounded and appealing individual. Stoicism encourages us to constantly strive for personal growth and self-mastery. This aligns perfectly with the idea of becoming a different man. By focusing on improving ourselves, both internally and externally, we can become more confident, resilient, and appealing. The Stoic practice of self-reflection can also be helpful in identifying areas where we can improve. By taking the time to examine our thoughts, feelings, and behaviors, we can gain a clearer understanding of our strengths and weaknesses, and we can develop a plan for achieving our goals. Furthermore, Stoicism teaches us to be adaptable and to embrace change. By being willing to step outside of our comfort zones and try new things, we can become more resilient and adaptable, which are essential qualities for navigating the challenges of life. 12. Eliminating subtle mistakes. Mastering the art of self-presentation. Recognize and eliminate subtle habits that undermine your attractiveness. These can include being overly eager to please, constantly agreeing with her, or always being available. Breaking free from these patterns is crucial for shifting the power dynamic. People-pleasing is a common trap that many men fall into. It involves prioritizing the needs and desires of others above your own, often to the detriment of your own well-being. People-pleasing can manifest in many ways, such as always agreeing with her opinions, constantly complimenting her, and always making yourself available to her. While it may seem like a harmless way to show your affection, People-pleasing can actually be detrimental to your relationships. It can make you appear weak, insecure, and lacking in self-respect. It can also lead to resentment and burnout, as you constantly sacrifice your own needs and desires for the sake of others. Setting boundaries is essential for maintaining healthy relationships. Boundaries define what you are and are not willing to tolerate in a relationship. They protect your time, energy, and emotional well-being. Setting boundaries also demonstrates self-respect and communicates that you value yourself. When you have strong boundaries, you're less likely to be taken advantage of or treated poorly. Assertiveness is the ability to express your needs and opinions clearly and respectfully, without being aggressive or passive. Assertiveness is essential for maintaining healthy relationships. It allows you to communicate your needs and desires without sacrificing your own values or compromising your own well-being. Assertiveness also demonstrates self-confidence and communicates that you value yourself. While it's important to be respectful and considerate of her opinions, it's also important to be able to disagree with her without being confrontational. Disagreeing with her shows that you have your own thoughts and opinions and that you are not afraid to express them. It also demonstrates that you're not simply trying to please her, but rather that you are genuinely engaged in the conversation. Stoicism emphasizes the importance of self-control and virtue. Self-control is the ability to resist impulses and desires that are harmful or unproductive. Virtue is the pursuit of excellence in all aspects of life, including our relationships. By practicing self-control and striving for virtue, we can avoid falling into the trap of people-pleasing and develop healthy boundaries. The Stoic practice of reason can also be helpful in evaluating our thoughts, feelings, and behaviors. By using reason, we can identify patterns of people-pleasing and develop strategies for breaking free from those patterns. Furthermore, Stoicism teaches us to value our own well-being and to prioritize our own needs and desires. By doing so, we can become more confident, resilient, and appealing to others. The journey to making her miss you is not about manipulation or trickery. It's about transforming yourself into a more compelling and authentic individual. This involves introducing healthy competition, showcasing a life that is full and engaging, becoming the best version of yourself, focusing on personal growth and self-improvement, eliminating self-sabotaging habits, breaking free from patterns of people-pleasing and dependence. These strategies are not just about attracting a woman. They are about creating a version of yourself that you are genuinely proud of. By focusing on self-improvement and living a more fulfilling life, you will become more confident, resilient, and appealing to others. The Stoic philosophy reminds us to focus on what is within our control, our actions, our thoughts, and our emotions. We cannot control how a woman feels about us, but we can control how we present ourselves and how we live our lives. By mastering our own value and living intentionally, we create an environment where she can't help but notice our absence. The path to becoming an unforgettable man begins with a single step. What will yours be? Will you start by leveling up a skill, cutting out those habits that hold you back, or simply taking a moment to reflect on the person you want to become? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Your journey inspires others within this community. This is just the beginning. There's more to explore, more to learn, and more to become. Stay focused, stay grounded, and remember that the person you're becoming is far more important than the one you're leaving behind. Let's make it happen.